This war should not have happened. We could have stopped it in its tracks in the first week. We could have prevented it from ever happening if we had simply listened to Moscow and what they wanted, which was no NATO nation on their borders. Specifically, they didn't want a NATO army, and they didn't want U.S. missiles sitting in eastern Ukraine aimed at their cities and their nuclear deterrent. All of this was avoidable. So we brought all of this on. We forced this to happen. So what do? You look at Biden, you say, well, it's his fault. He becomes the scapegoat for everything. And he's resigning. And we have a wonderful opportunity. We'll have the first non-white woman as president of the United States. Isn't that wonderful? Really? Well, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, we're in new territory now. This is a world we've never seen before. We're watching this entire structure of power that has been built up over decades fall apart. We could have managed all of this differently. We put everything at risk. We're going to watch NATO sort of gradually die alone in the corner. You know, Henry James said, sacred cows are never slain. They simply vanish. Our sacred cows are going to vanish. No one's going to stand up and say, oh, well, today we bury NATO. Today we bury this or that, the next thing. No, it'll just drift away. And we're going to drift away out of Europe, out of Ukraine. We're going to drift away from lots of places because we're bankrupt. That's the sad truth. And no one should be surprised.